What's up, guys? Today we're going to be working on part 2 of the dirt cheap Honda Civic build. We don't have any modifications for this bad boy yet, so we're going to be doing a couple maintenance items like the distributor, the ignition switch, air intake, temperature sensor. You know what I mean. You know what I'm. Jesus. Oh God. Air intake temperature sensor and the O2 sensor. So without further ado, let's get into that. Would just like to point out, I put a beautiful customization piece on this. I think it's extremely fitting. It really goes with the entire vibe of this car, so that's awesome. And another thing I want to do, I don't know if I'll do it this video, is take these hubcaps off so that everything's uniform. They might be attached like behind the lug nuts, I believe. Yeah, I don't think these are just like the regular clip-on ones. So anyways, that's awesome. And then also, I noticed on this side, we're missing a stud. Not even just a lug nut, a whole stud. So that'll be a project for another day. Anyways, let's get into the distributor. To do the distributor, you're literally only going to need 2 tools. You're going to need a jumper wire, which, if you don't know what that is, it's literally just a wire with 2 ends stripped. Doesn't really matter what gauge, but probably around an 18 gauge would work the best. And you're going to need a 12 millimeter socket and ratchet. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to go in here. I'm going to try to be as detailed as possible. The hood latch prop is like right there. So come down here, pop the hood. Then you're going to want to disconnect your battery. So just take the negative off. I believe it's a 10 mil probably. I don't know. Some of them, like, you can have different terminals and stuff. So probably 10 mil. Anyways, if you have the OEM intake, I don't think it gets in the way. Mine kind of presses up against it, but I still don't need to take it off. You can take off this clip, and then you want to take off your spark plugs. So it's, I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4 is the order. So take those off. They just pop right off. Like I said, I'm not going to do it because I've already done this. So these are 12 millimeters. You take off that one, and then there's another one right back here. You can see that where my finger is. It's not wanting to focus, but there's another one. Take all 3 of those off, and then if you have everything else disconnected, this will just pop right out. And then reinsert the new one, plug it in, connect your battery. Then you're going to want to come into your passenger side compartment. You're going to find this trim panel right here. Take that off. And then find this weird little silicone connector thing. There will be a blue connector in it. Take it out, jump it. So put an end of your jumper wire in either side of the plug. Then you'll turn your car on, and you'll set base timing with the timing light. For the timing light, what you're going to want to do, put the negative end of the timing light on the negative, positive on the positive. You'll put the spark plug wire attachment on cylinder 1, so you'll put it right here, and then you'll shine the light down here, and you'll try to get, there's 3 that'll show up on the left, timing marks, and then there's 1 that will show up a little further to the right. That jumper wire locks it in place so you can set base timing. So I'm trying to get good lighting, but basically it'll lock it in place, and you're going to want to hit 12 degrees. 12 degrees is the middle of the 3 timing marks. You can advance it. There's probably not much of a benefit on a stock D16, Y7, or Y8, honestly. So set it to that. Then after it's holding steady at 12 degrees of timing, you'll turn the car off, unplug the jumper, turn it back on, make sure it's running good, and then you're all set on the distributor. That's it. If you want to watch a more in-detail video, just go look it up. There's a million on YouTube. But I've already done it, so I'm not going to get into it. Now, the next thing we're going to do is the air intake temperature sensor. So what you're going to do, you're going to come in here, this side of your intake box, pop this clip off, wiggle this guy out, and then you're going to take your new one, wiggle it back in. That's what she said. Put the clip back on. Oh, make sure it clips. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Well, okay, it's probably not that big of a deal if it doesn't clip. So anyways, attach it, and then you're good. That's all. Okay, as you may be able to tell, it's a little bit later in the day. The car has changed positions, and it is now levitating. So we're going to get into stuff that I haven't already done, so you'll actually be able to see work get done, which I'm sure is extremely exciting. So we're going to get under the car and break the O2 sensor loose and get started on that. I'd also like to mention there's a fairly high chance that the camera will shut off during this. So if it does, I will probably continue to work, unfortunately for you guys, but I'll update you on what I did. Once you're under the car, you can find the O2 sensor right behind the oil pan. It is a 22 millimeter. I've stashed one up here for times like this. So what you're going to want to do is just break this puppy loose. Oh my God, it was literally hand tight. I did not plan that. That's crazy. Well, that could have been part of the exhaust leak that I was hearing. I think another part might be these beautiful welds over here. Okay, well that definitely doesn't look good. That's for sure. So then you're going to go up into the engine bay and take the clip off. So I'll bring you guys up there. So over on this side of the engine bay. Okay, so once you're back up to your engine bay, come to the left of the distributor, and that is the plug right there. I don't know if that's the location it would normally be in because I'm not a Honda guy. This is my first one. But pull this guy up, disconnect this, and then put the new one in. Once you have your old one disconnected, you can just plug your new one in, drop it back down where it came from. We will go back under the car. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy in the exhaust. I would like to mention the oil on the bottom of this is totally OEM. It's just an anti-rust coating. So yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's supposed to be like that, honestly. You can unplug this so that it won't bunch up like that. Sometimes I care about that kind of stuff, but not when I've paid $1,500 for this car. So yeah, tighten this bad boy back up. Make sure it doesn't come loose. Okay, I said I don't care, but it's kind of bothering me, so I'm probably gonna fix that off camera. That's also OEM. It's anti-rust. Ignore the rust surrounding it. Anyways, that's it. So yeah, you're done. That's the O2 sensor. Enough said, I guess. Sorry, this might not be the highest quality video because I'm kind of trying to rush because my phone's on 12%, but we're gonna work on the ignition switch now. That's the last thing we need to do. And yeah, so you're gonna go inside the car. Once you've teleported yourself in here, you can take off this panel and this panel, which are held on by screws. Oh, this is a reoccurring thing with this car. The screws are not there. There should be one there and there. That one is there, so that's a win. That one's not. this one's in there, and this one's in there, and that one's in there. So take all those out and pop this panel off, and this panel off, and this panel off, I believe. And then we can get to the ignition switch. Unplug the plug. Set that aside. That thing is disgusting. Not really sure what these wires went to, but they have since been cut. Actually, this looks like the ignition switch wires, which is probably part of the reason they're beginning to not work. There's something on my camera. Let me get that. Oh, perfect. Okay, so now that we have that panel off, take this one off. Probably completely in your guys' way, but I don't have time to set up the camera. We're probably running on 10% now. Oh gosh. The Honda guys are probably cringing, probably doing this so wrong, but I really don't care. Also, I broke it, so we'll see if that matters later. Found an extra screw. We're on a roll today. Alright, so the ignition switch is right there. You just pull this little lever down for adjusting your steering wheel. You take these two Phillips head screws out, which are again in here. I wouldn't even call that hand tight. That's like finger loose or something. Alright, take that guy out. A little crusty. So there's a zip tie holding that on. I'm just gonna cut that real quick. There we go. Okay, just double checked. We're at 9%. So we gotta get this stuff done. One of the plugs, I'll show you what the new one looks like. This is the new one. It's got these two plugs, all right? So, could you see that when I pulled it off? I think you could. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna trace the wires from that one back down to these two plugs, unplug them, put this one in, screw it back in, plug these two plugs in, we'll be good. Hold on. It's got white and black, yellow, and black and yellow. So that's right there. Now, I'm going to follow the other one, which clips up here behind this metal piece. Make sure you don't cut yourself on that really jagged Honda metal. There's some random relay here. That's really sketchy. I don't know what that was for, but that's okay. So now we're gonna cut the zip tie that held these on. I think this relay is actually like spliced into the ignition. I think it was like maybe a kill switch relay or something. I don't know, that's super weird. I'm gonna unplug it because it's zip tied to something else. That's not letting me take this off. There shouldn't be a relay there. If there's a relay on your car, good luck. So now I'm gonna take this little OEM Honda tape off. I think it's OEM Honda tape. Who knows? This is connected to a wire on the back, but that wire is not necessary for what we're doing, I don't believe. I think this should just come out. Okay, cut the tape. Don't cut any wires that you're not taking out, because that would not be optimal. Do I know what wires I'm cutting right now? No, but I'm pretty sure it's the correct ones, so that's okay. All right, so we got the tape off. I should be able to pull this through. So I think it would be much easier if you take this plate off. But I'm not going to. But if you're doing it, you should. You should take that plate off because it would make it a lot easier on you. But if you try hard enough, you'll eventually be able to slide these wires out. Oh. That little wire is used for something. Huh. So my new cable does not have these two blue wires. I have no idea what those two blue wires are for. I'm gonna go do some research and let my phone charge, and I will get back to you when I figure this out. Okay. Cellular device is at a whopping 25%. So we are gonna get back to it real quick. I figured out what to do with that connector, and I will show you guys. Sorry, that last clip's quality was probably not good. I was recording on HD instead of 4K. Like a loser. So anyways, someone getting home? Nope. So let me flip the camera. So when you're looking at the steering wheel like this, that wire that I couldn't figure out came from this side of the steering wheel, and specifically right here. As you can see, it's attached to the cylinder, and it goes down, and it's two blue wires that plug into this connector. Those two blue wires are not present on this connector. As you can see, no blue wires. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a small screwdriver, and we're going to pry down on those little pieces of plastic in there that you can see and slide those pins out. So I'm going to try to set the camera up somewhere where you can see what I'm doing and show you how to do that. I know this isn't the most optimal angle, but work with me. Right there, this white piece, press down and up. Doesn't matter if you break it because we're not using this one anymore. So once you have that white piece kind of out like that, just kind of wiggle it up a little more. I believe that's going to make it so you can easily get these out. I know there's Honda guys watching this saying I'm stupid and I don't know what to do. And you're right. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm not really that worried about it because, again, I paid $1,500 for this car. If it breaks, I mean, don't get me wrong, that would be unfortunate but not that big of a deal. Also, I'm sure I could fix it. Okay, so we got that little white piece out, and in my head, that solved the issue. But as it seems, it did not. Okay, I'm back with depinning tools. Now, if you don't have depinning tools, fear not, you don't need them. I've done this with random bits of metal and plastic before, but these definitely make it a lot easier. Now, the hard part, I don't know if this is just because I have bad vision, but you got to figure out which way the pin on the inside goes, which way you need to press it down. Now, I keep going back and forth between thinking I need to press it down from the front and thinking I need to press it down from the back. But when I figure it out, I will certainly let you know. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't get that on video. Honda made this nearly impossible to do. Whoops. You're going to need a small screwdriver or a flat piece of metal to shove through the back of the clip and press down the retaining pin, I guess you would call it, that holds in the wire. It's going to be a little difficult, but it is possible. Now put the wires in the same position they were in the other one. Take the little white thing out of your new plug and just slide them right in. And you should hear a click when they go in. I can't do it with one hand, but you should hear a click. Oh, there you go. Click. And then you put the white piece back in. And then your new plug is wired. Yeah. This is what it should look like when you're done. Now I'm going to fish everything back up through here and through here, plug it back in, and see if the car turns on. Okay, now that everything's back together, as you can see, we got our one screw in here and our couple screws in here. Made sure everything was much tighter than it was previously. We're going to see if it starts up. All right, here goes nothing. Hopefully not literally. Okay, we got beeping, that's good. We got lights, that's also good. And I didn't have to hold it down to keep the starter running. One more time. Start right up. That's pretty solid. I'm so surprised. Just kidding, I'm not surprised because I'm literally the best mechanic there is. Well, I'm going to call it there. Thank you for watching. I'm sure that was probably not the most interesting video, but hopefully we will have some cool stuff coming in the next one. The only thing I know I have to do is, as you saw on the bottom, probably an oil pan gasket. I have to change the oil because, as you saw, the oil dripping off of there was pitch black. And yeah, but I think in the next video, I'll probably do a drop down of like the costs of everything, do like a little breakdown, and we'll see how that goes. But anyways, let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you think of the new mic audio. If you like it more, less, or whatever. If you have any feedback or tips, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe so I can keep making videos like this. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your day.